just finished up work. Let's go film a video. It's been a while. By the way, this sunset is beautiful. In the middle of February. Alright, it's kind of nice outside today. So today we're going to be talking about some common problems with this platform. Probably going to go over 7 problems that this car has that you guys should look out for. I'm going to need you guys to mind the wind because it is windy. And I also picked like the busiest area that I could to film this for some reason. But yeah, let's get straight into it. So the first issue with this car is a very, very, very major one. And it's going to be right underneath the hood. The first issue that I'm going to talk about on this car is way back here. Back in the engine bay, it's that thing. It's the heater hose port. That connection in the middle breaks and coolant goes all over the engine bay. Now it's a very, very annoying issue to fix. And you guys want to get that sorted as soon as possible. For issue number 2, it's a very, very major issue in this car, and any car can have it, but this car is very important. It is your sunroof drain. There's a drain right over there, the sunroof, and basically there's a pipe going down your A-pillar all the way down to the floor there. Now what happens is this pipe gets clogged and it rots away basically, and the water drains inside your floor pan right there. And if you guys didn't know, there is your BCM. So as you can imagine, getting your BCM, your body control module wet, really is not a good idea. So yeah, that's a very big issue, and honestly it can be really hard to do if you don't do it in time. So I recommend you guys get it done. There are very, very, very thorough walkthroughs in the forum, because almost like 80% of cars or 70% of cars have this issue. But yeah, sort that out. It's not too expensive to fix. You just have to do it properly, and it will take some time, and it can get messy. But yeah, that's issue number 2. And issue number 3, let's talk about it. For the third issue, we're going to be back in the engine bay. And the third issue with this car is going to be your throttle bodies. There's 2 of them in this car. And these bodies get really, really dirty from the inside. So you should clean them out at about 150,000 kilometers just to make sure that there isn't any buildup on them. Clean them is very easy, to be honest. All you have to do is take this pipe off, and this whole thing comes off in like 2 minutes for both sides, for there and here. And then you can get a MAF cleaner or a throttle body cleaner and clean the inside of your throttle body. Be really, really careful with the butterfly inside this one and that one. You can take these throttle bodies off. People say not to, but you can. It's not a problem. I did take them off. But the only thing you need to keep in mind is when you do take the 2 off and you put them back on and you put everything on when you're done, before you drive, you need to relearn the throttle in this car. There's a very, very good video on YouTube. I'll link it below that you should watch, and it's very simple to relearn the throttle. And yeah, other than that, you should be good to go after cleaning them. Problem number 4. It's not in the engine bay, it's behind it, and it only applies to the automatic G37s. The automatic transmissions in these cars isn't too strong once it's tuned. Also, you need to make sure that the transmission has been serviced before you buy the car. This one has, so I'm good. And even though it's been serviced and it's not tuned or anything, it's still jerky when I drive it around or when it's cold. But yeah, so make sure that the automatic transmission in this car has been serviced. Servicing it isn't too hard. People recommend you take the automatic transmission oil pan off, however, to do it. That's why if you're going to do it yourself, it could take a little bit, but it can be done pretty easily at home. So yeah, don't worry too much about that. But yeah, the automatic transmission cannot handle being tuned. So when I do get tuned, it's like a taking time bomb, basically. And if you are launching the car, if you're sending the car too hard in first gear, then that transmission is bound to go, and you honestly can't do much about it. We're flying through these. We're already on number 5. And his video probably isn't even like 6 minutes long. Anyways, number 5 that you need to keep an eye out for in this car is going to be your valve cover gaskets. Your valve cover gaskets are hidden by the intake plenum. You can't even see them in my car because of all the wires and everything on top. But you need to make sure that those valve cover gaskets aren't leaking, because in this car, they're known to leak on this car, and you need to make sure that you change them out. Changing them out is a little bit annoying because it is a V6, but in the end of the day, you can do it within a few hours at home. The parts aren't too expensive, so that's the best part. It is just a gasket. But yeah, those leak, and they leak very, very often. Mine haven't been changed, but mine also aren't leaking, as from what I can see. I'm gonna change them out in the summer, but so far they're not leaking. But that is a very big maintenance item and an issue with these cars that you need to keep an eye out for. Make sure you get those changed out, because those also leak oil and can go onto your headers, and it's just not good. It's not a good day. But yeah, make sure you check them out. Make sure they're not leaking. You can get a flashlight, put it down there, make sure there's no oil around the surroundings. But yeah, keep an eye out for that. So I was planning on going somewhere else, but the sun is setting pretty quick, so we're just gonna do the video here. Number six for this car is again in the engine bay. I think you can see a theme here. Everything's in the engine bay. Still more reliable than I'm joking. But yeah, number 6 is going to be your water pump. Now, water pump is obviously hidden behind this timing chain, big cover here. So that is a very annoying job. It's like literally in this area, your water pump is. But that water pump is known to fail. There's a lot of people who don't have any issues with it. But at the same time, there are a lot of people that do have issues with the water pump. And if you are one of the people that has the issue with the water pump, I'm sorry for you. It is kind of expensive to get that fixed. But if your car hasn't given you that issue yet, just keep an eye out for it. And yeah, honestly, you should be okay. I haven't had the issue with it. None of my friends have had issues with it. But yeah, keep an eye out for the water pump. You think it's only a BMW issue? No, this car also has the same issue. Get that fixed. Actually, that leads to my next point. My next point number 7, is literally your gallery gaskets. That is the biggest issue on these motors, the VQ motors. Not just G37, it's a VQ issue. And if you haven't changed those gaskets out, I recommend you plan on doing that soon. If you're buying a car, try to make sure that's already been done. If not, then you're gonna have to do it yourself, or you're gonna have to get a shop to do it. I am putting the prices of everything up, so this is the price recommendations that I have gotten. So far, it can be anywhere from $1,000 to $2,000. Some people in the forums are charging like $2,500 for it. That's too much. But yeah, the gallery gaskets on this car are right behind this off cover, whatever, this timing chain cover. It's kind of annoying because the entire front end of the car has to kind of come off, so you can get good access to it, and this whole cover has to come off, and the gallery gaskets are hidden behind it. Again, part itself isn't expensive. It's just the labor it's very labor intensive. It takes a long time to do. Your car's going to be down for a while, so just plan for that. The main issue with the gallery gaskets in this car is that there isn't too much like symptoms that happen before they fail. The best way to see it coming is you get an oil pressure gauge. I have one on order. I'll install it soon. But yeah, if you have an oil pressure gauge, you can see when your oil pressure drops. And if it drops, you know that there's an issue with some of the gaskets or some sort of pump or something. But yeah. Now, the good thing about the gallery gaskets is that while you're in there, you can do your water pump. It'll add a little bit to the cost, obviously, but it's better to do them both in just one shot and get it done. That building is so nice. But yeah, it's better to get them both done in one shot. It makes everything easier. And yeah, you'll save on labor if you do it that way. But yeah, those are 7 issues with this platform. I know 7 is a lot, but I'm telling you guys everything that I know, and these are like the most common issues with the car. Obviously, every car has its issues, and the VQ motor gets driven very hard, no matter what car it's in. So obviously, it has more issues than a normal Toyota Corolla would, or an IS250 would, because they're driven by grandpas. But yeah, just be careful. It's not too expensive to maintain. Just take care of your maintenance. Make sure you stay on top of your oil changes, your coolant flushes, spark plugs, all of that basic maintenance, and the car will be fine. There's people on the forums with cars that are well over 400,000 miles or 300,000 miles, and my car's at 209,000 kilometers. I bought it at 170. I've driven it a lot, and yeah, it's been great. It hasn't given me any issues, alhamdulillah, and I hope it won't in the future. But yeah, quick shout out to the paint on this car. Looks immaculate. You gotta admit, for a 14-year-old car, that's not bad at all. All right, take care, guys.